Hello everyone, welcome to Performance Testing with Apache JMeter demo session. Agenda for today's session is software testing overview, basic categories under software testing and the differences, what is performance testing and why performance testing is important, what is Apache JMeter and how JMeter tool works. Then I will give a live demo of JMeter script recording for a simple script and replay. Then I will walk through the topics which all are covered as part of this course, followed by Q&A. So in our day-to-day life, everywhere, indirectly or directly, we are using software applications. If you go to supermarket, indirectly we use software application. There in the billing counter, we use software application. If you go to bank for cash deposit or cash withdrawal or applying for loan or transferring money to other accounts, here also indirectly we are using a software application. If you go to when we are using most of us all are using the internet banking facility provided by banks, so directly we are using the software application. If you go to medical store, if you go to hospital, if you want to reserve a flight ticket or reserve a train ticket, bus ticket, to book a cab, ordering food through delivery apps, food delivering apps, where not everywhere we use a software application. Nowadays, it's very hard to imagine life without softwares. So, to develop any kind of software application, a standard process to be followed, which is called software development lifecycle, which has multiple phases like requirements, design, development, testing, deployment, and maintenance. Here, client is the one who come up with the requirements, and developer is the one who convert the requirements given by the client to the code, which is nothing but an application. Once application was developed, tester is the one who is responsible for that to test the application. Okay, in testing phase, uh, again we have a standard process called software testing lifecycle, which is again having multiple phases like requirement analysis, test planning, test design, environment setup, environment test execution, and test closure. Okay, so in SDLC, testing is very important and critical phase. Any application which is developed and before moving to production, definitely it should be tested. Okay, testing is a process of validating whether application works as per the client's requirement or not. Okay, the main motto of software testing, is to identify and eliminate the bugs, performance bottlenecks, security vulnerabilities. So here we are using some terminology like bugs, performance bottlenecks, and vulnerabilities. Okay, in functional, okay, I will discuss about these terminologies in the future slides, next slides. So basically, we can categorize software testing into two types: functional testing and non-functional testing. Okay, to get a better picture about difference between the non-functional and functional testing, let's take a few examples. Let's take a lift which is in a multi-store building. Okay, so a functional tester enter into the lift, and he'll start testing the application. As he is a functional tester, he will look into all the functional aspects. What are the functional aspects? He will test that functional aspects. Okay, he will enter into the lift. He will click on close door button. He will check whether door is closing properly or not after pressing the button. After that, he will check whether door is opening or not. And after that, he clicked on floor number 2. So it should stop at the floor. It should stop, the lift is stopping at the floor number 2. Okay. If it is stopping at floor number 2, the functionality is working as expected. if it is not stopping at floor number 2 and it is going to 20th floor and then it is stopping, it's not a expected behavior, it's an issue. So in functional testing terminology, we will call this issue as a bug. Okay, and then he will after clicking on second button, it lift took him to the second floor. After that, he clicked on 5 6 7 multiple floor numbers. Then it should, the expected behavior is it should stop at 5th 6th and 7th floor sequentially. That is the expected behavior. If it is not stopping as per the sequence, it is first going to 6th floor and then it is going to 7th floor and then it is stopping at 5th floor, it's not a expected behavior. We call this as a bug. Okay, so all these bugs will be identified and fixed at the functional testing stage. Now the non-functional tester comes into the picture. Okay, the non-functional tester into the lift, and what he done, like he clicked on the floor number 2. Here he won't bother about the functional aspect because already functional testing is done for this lift. So by default, the functionality is working properly. He clicked on the floor number 2 and he will measure the time, how much time it is taking to lift go to the second floor. Okay, after that he will try to he will try pressing 20th floor button, how much time it is taking to go to 20th floor. He will measure the uh, time, how much time it is taking to go to 20th floor. After that, he will pull some 10 people into the lift and again he will press the floor number 2, how much time it will took to go to second floor. Okay, so after that he will try with some 15 peoples, 20 peoples, so different load, different he is wearing the load and he's measuring the time taken to reach the destination floor. Okay, so all these are non-functional aspects. Okay, I hope you get some basic understanding between the functional and non-functional. Let's take another few examples, like uploading photo for a profile pic. Functional tester, he will try to upload a JPG image and click on upload button. It will upload. Okay, that is a positive test case. And after that, he will try to upload Excel file. If it is accepting Excel file, it's a bug, right? Okay, so he will report the this bug to development team and they will fix the issue. After that, he will as per the requirements, the max file size will be 2 MB. He will try to upload multiple files which is less than 2 MB. All are uploading successfully, so that functionality is working fine. After that, he tried to upload a 5 MB file. If application is able to upload the 5 MB file also, it's not, but as per the requirements, the max size is 2 MB. If it is accepting 5 MB file, it's a bug, right? Okay, so these all are the non-functional aspects of this feature, profile pic, uploading profile pic feature. Okay, let's move to performance testing. The performance tester um, try to upload a file. Okay, how much time it is taking to upload the file, that is what he bother about. He is more interested to know the time taken to upload the profile pic. Okay, in the similar way, he will try to he will simulate some 1,000 users and all these 1,000 virtual users are uploading profile pic and how much time it is taking. So this is how the functional tester thinks. Okay, let's move to another example, bill payment. Okay, bill payment, let's say we are paying some utility bills like electricity bill, right? When functional tester want to test this feature, he will log into the bill desk site and he will enter the let's take electricity bill. He will give the service number and click on search button, so that it should give a valid details. Let's say he's entering service number to some ABC person. If it is retrieving the details of XYZ person, it's not a expected functionality, it's a bug. Okay, if it is retrieving the correct details, okay, it's like a positive test case, like it's working fine. So after that, he will do the payment. If payment is successful or not, he will check. And when it comes to performance, right, the performance tester, let's say he will enter the valid service number. Okay, he don't go with the native test cases. He will definitely give a valid service number, electricity service number, and he will fetch the details. He will click on search. So he bother about how much time it is taking to fetch the bill details. Okay, and after doing the after doing the payment, how much time it is taking to uh, redirect from payment gateway side to again back to the builder side. All these things he will bother about. And at the same time, in the bill payment, we will give our net banking credentials or card details, right? How secure it is. This is also one of the non-functional aspect. Okay, but it's different story. We are only concentrating on the performance in this course. Okay, but security also one of the non-functional aspect. Okay, let's move to another example. User registration page. Okay, uh, let let me open some. This is a sample demo application where I want to go with the user registration. Okay, I click on sign in, where it is asking to create an account. So I want to create an account. I don't have any account here. So uh, I'm assuming let's assume I'm a functional tester. So I want to give some number call, I will give some invalid thing. Just want to check, instead of email ID, I'm giving some ACD. Okay, what it is telling? Invalid email ID. So I given the invalid email ID and it is throwing error. Okay, so this functionality is working fine. Uh, at the rate XYZ. I clicked on click on account. See, I didn't mention the .com or something. So it's functionality is working fine. Okay, let me give some abc at the rate gmail.com. Click on create account. So the email ID is valid, but see, it is throwing some error using an account using the email address has already been registered. So this functionality is working very correctly. Okay, let me put some abc perf and click on create account. Okay, so it taken the abc perf at the rate of gmail.com and it redirect to next page. Okay, so the functional tester looks whether it is, if we are giving a valid email ID, it's going to next page or not. But whereas a performance tester, how much time after clicking on create account, how much time it took to go to next this page? He will measure the response time. Okay, likewise he will simulate multiple users load and test this response time. Like if 1,000 users are trying to create an account, how much time it is taking from home page to this create account page. Okay, like that we'll take a ticket booking website. I think most of you aware, right? Um, Ticket booking, like if you take a IRCTC example, if you see, when functional tester used to test this application, when booking the ticket, whatever the details giving by the end user are correct or not. But when it comes to performance, how fast the ticket booking is happening. If you take a IRCTC website at Tatkal timing, uh, all of a sudden most of the users are accessing the application. They are trying to book the Tatkal tickets and application is very slow. Most of the times, sometimes we used to get the payment failures due to the user load. Okay, these are few examples. I just put in a. I just want to uh, explain to difference between the functional and non-functional testing. Okay, let's move to the next slide. So here just I put the definitions of this functional testing and what the basic differences between the functional testing and non-functional testing. So functional testing is a process of validating the application whether it is satisfying the user requirements or not. Okay, and when it comes to non-functional testing, it bother about the non-functional aspects of the application like performance, security, scalability, usability, all these things. Okay, um, so remember guys, one thing, when software application development was completed, always non-functional testing is the first. And sorry, sorry about that. uh, Once the application was developed, functional testing is the first, and non-functional testing is the next. Before uh, starting non-functional testing, definitely functional testing should be completed, then only we need to start non-functional testing. Okay, and under functional testing, we have various types of testing like unit testing, integration testing, system testing, interface testing, regression testing, user acceptance testing. All these are subsets of functional testing. In the similar way, in non-functional testing also, we have multiple types of testing like performance testing, installation testing, reliability testing, security testing. All this comes under non-functional testing. And coming to functional testing we can do it as a manual process, as well as we can do it with the help of automation tools. Few tools such as UFT, Selenium. There are a lot of other tools. I listed very few tools here. Okay. In the same way, when it comes to non-functional testing, uh, it's difficult to do this non-functional testing manually. Sometimes it is not at all possible to test when without automation tools. So few tools we are using for non-functional testing like JMeter, LoadRunner, NeoLoad. Okay, what is performance testing? Okay, before going to the definition of the performance testing, let's take a simple example of ticket booking website. Okay, so there is one person called John. He's trying to uh, check the ticket availability. He want to plan a trip, and he want to check the availability of the tickets from some source to destination. Okay, at the same time there is another person, Vicky. He's trying to book the ticket and do the payment. And at the same time there is another user called Jack. He's trying to cancel the ticket. Likewise, there is another user called Ken. He's trying to check the ticket status. So if you see this animated image, like multiple users are accessing the application at same time. Okay, here when I say multiple users, it could be 100,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, any number of users. Like okay, so by seeing this image, I will try to explain you performance testing definition. When multiple users are accessing the application, measuring the system behavior is known as performance testing. Okay, let's say when one user is accessing the application, when he's trying to check the ticket availability, maybe it will display the page in 2 seconds. If the same functionality is checking by some 1,000 people, it may it may give us the response time may be a little bit high, right? So these type of functionality, when multiple users are accessing multiple features of this application, the process of measuring the behavior of the system is known as performance testing. Okay, see, performance testing is a non-functional software testing process which is used to measuring the behavior of an application when multiple users are accessing the application. Okay, here when we say behavior in the sense speed, stability, scalability, resource usage. Speed, when multiple users are accessing the application, how quickly the application is responding to the user requests. Scalability, how much load the maximum users the software application can handle. Stability, when we are running a performance test with different loads like 1000 users, how application is responding. If we do a performance testing with 10,000 users, how application is responding, how quick the application is responding, how stable it is. This is all about the stability. And when multiple number of users are accessing the application, definitely the system resources are very busy. So how busy the system resources during the load. This is all about performance testing. So so in this case, let's say um, there are 4 use cases right here. We are seeing one is check ticket availability. Second use case is book ticket payment, booking the ticket, canceling the ticket, checking the ticket status. Okay. So if I want to test these 4 use cases with each with 1000 users, so total 4000 users. Each test case should be tested with 1000 users concurrently. So total 4000 users need to uh, concurrently perform these use cases. So do you think is it possible to bring 4000 users and real users and test this application and measure the response times manually? It's highly impossible, right? So in market there are a lot of automation tools available to simulate this behavior. Okay. So usually what the automation tools will do, they will simulate the virtual users. The real users and virtual users perform the same, but only difference is real users exist physically and virtual users doesn't exist physically. They are the virtual users. We can't see the user, but the virtual user will do all the actions performed by the real user. Okay. That is what that is why we use the performance automation testing tools to do performance testing. Okay. um, there are few tools like Apache, JMeter, Gatling, Grinder, Taurus, K6, Loctus, Tisang. All these are open source tools. When I say open source tools, there is all these tools are freely available. We can directly download from the official websites of each respective tool. We no need to pay even a single rupee to the organizations. Okay. And there are a lot of commercial tools also available in market. When I say commercial tools, for every tool we need to if we want to use any of these tools, definitely we need to pay. So nowadays most of the organizations are moving from commercial tools to open source tools. Now there is a very good market for the open source performance testing tools. When it comes to frankly telling guys, like JMeter is the king when it comes to open source performance testing tools. In commercial testing tools, most of the market was occupied by the LoadRunner, but nowadays in the big organizations also slowly migrating to open source tools. In open source market, JMeter is the king. Let's say I can say 50 more than 50% of the market was occupied by Apache JMeter. Rest all 50%, rest all tools will take remaining percentage. Okay. Why performance testing is important? So any application undergoes with functional testing and performance testing. Um, we can know the capability of the application. Capability in the sense how much load it can handle and to measure the response time of the system under various loads. Means let's say if you are doing a performance test with 1,000 users, how the system, how speed, like how quickly the system is responding, how speed application is. When we are doing a performance test with 2,000 users, how speed the application, how speed it is responding. When we are testing with 10,000 users, how speed it is responding. Okay, when we are varying the workloads, measuring the speed of the application, we can measure the speed of the application. Okay, and we can identify and eliminate the performance bottlenecks in lower environment itself. Like before, once the application was developed, the code will be deployed into lower environments. So we'll do a performance test in the lower environments itself, and we can identify and eliminate the bottlenecks before it moving to the production. Here, let me take a simple example. There are two very good supermarkets. One is ABC supermarket and another is XYZ supermarket. Okay, both the supermarkets having very good number of branches across India and very good brand name. Okay, um, so both supermarkets planning to uh, enter into the e-commerce world. So both supermarkets started developing the XYZ, sorry, ABC supermarket started abc.com, and XYZ supermarket started xyz.com. Both both these start done with the development, and ABC supermarket went for done with the functional testing and performance testing. Then it will deploy the code into production. It released into the production. Whereas xyz.com, after completion of development, it will went to functional testing. They skipped the performance testing and directly they went to the production. Okay, so everything is going good. One fine day, both the supermarket application, due to very heavy competition in the market, both the supermarkets allowed some festival season like Diwali, both of the supermarkets announced a very good deals, some sale. They both of them announced a sale which is having very good deals. And when the sale started, ABC supermarket, the abc.com, the website is performing very well. It is very fast and all the users are very happy. When it comes to xyz.com, when most of the users is facing like application slowness when they are trying to search the products online. It is the page is keep on loading for some time. For few users, what's happening? It is throwing error message saying like due to heavy traffic, it's causing delays. Like this, it's throwing thank you for your patience. Like this, it is throwing some error message. For few users, what happening? It's throwing payment failed errors. Uh, can you imagine, guys? Like when a person place an order worth of 50,000, the amount was deducted from his account, and it's simply saying, "Don't worry, your money is safe. If you was debited from your account, it will be refunded automatically in 7 days." If you see these kind of error message, can you imagine how user? What's the emotion of the user? For few users, it is saying like website is temporarily unable to service you. These kind of errors um, is to see all these xyz.com facing these kind of errors. I think I hope most of you are aware of the story like between rabbit and tortoise, where slow and steady might help the tortoise to win the race. But when it comes to any application, web application, even a single second of delay may cause a loss of revenue, credibility, user base to the organization. Even it damages the brand value as well. Okay, so performance testing is very crucial and very important. Every application which is moving to production, proper performance testing is to be done. Okay, let's move to the next topic. Apache JMeter. So in this entire course, we are dealing with the Apache JMeter. It's an open source. Apache JMeter is a pure Java-based open source load testing tool from Apache Software Foundation. Okay, so it's a there are multiple features for JMeter. I list out few features here. It's a open source. Open source in the sense there is no licensing cost. We don't need to spend a single rupee for this software to utilize. It's freely available in Apache JMeter official website. Sorry guys. And it's a platform independent. Whatever the platform support Java, it should support JMeter as well. Okay, we can use this in Windows, Linux, Mac, whatever the platform support Java, support JMeter as well. And it's a very easy installation. Like there is no complex installation involved here. We don't need like very high-end systems to install this application. Like simply we need to go to Apache Software Foundation Apache JMeter official website and simply download the binary zip file, extract it, and we can use. And it supports distributed load testing. It supports the master slave concept. And it supports multiple protocols like HTTP, HTTPS, JDBC, LDAP, web services, and so on. And it's very easy to integrate with other tools like Jenkins, BlazeMeter, Gradle, other tools. And though JMeter is having a lot of inbuilt features, with the help of JMeter extensions, we can extend the JMeter features to next level and support the plugin architecture. Okay, it has a very good visualizations. There are a lot of listeners like trees, tables, graphs. It's a very good visualization effects. Okay, these all are very key important features listed out here. Okay, let's see how web application works. So web application is a day-to-day life everywhere. Like we are using the applications for different functionality. Let's take a simple use case like launching application, log into the application, I'm searching for the product, and then just searching the product. I'm just checking the prices, and just I'm simply log out. Okay, this is a sample test case. We'll see how this works. We have a front end and back end. Front end is nothing but a browser from where we are accessing the application. Okay, and back end in the sense it's a server which contains web server, application server, and DB server. Let's say I'm enter the some abc.com website. So request sent from client to server. Okay, so server process, and it will again send the response to the client. You'll see the application was launched on the browser. After that, I will give username and password and click on login button. Again, request sent to server. They will check in the server. It will check the whether it is a valid credentials or not. If it is valid credentials, then it will send a response back to the client. After I search for some products like fruits, it will send a request to the server. It will fetch all the type of fruits available, and it will send back the response to the client. And then request sent from browser to server like logout, and the response like successfully logged out page will display in the browser. This is how the web application works. Like when all these functionalities, when one user is accessing the this test case. Okay, so we want to record the script with the JMeter. How JMeter record this entire process? So how JMeter works for script recording? Here also I'm taking the same example: launch application, login, search product, and logout. Okay, so we have front end and back end. Here we are using JMeter tool to record the about test case. What happened here? JMeter sits in between the front end and like client and server. It will act as a proxy or man in the middle. So when we are recording the script with JMeter, we will set up some proxy settings in the browser, as well as some settings in the JMeter as well, so that when I'm accessing the application from browser, first the request application launch request sent to the JMeter, it will capture the request and store inside the recording controller, and then JMeter will send the same request to, first it will capture the request, store it in recording controller, and same request is sent to the server. So now server process the request and respond back to JMeter, because request came to, from where the request came to server, from JMeter request came to the server. So the server responds to the JMeter only. So JMeter captured the response in the listeners, and the same response was sent to the client. Similarly, login will send to JMeter. JMeter send the login request to server, response for login, and in the similar way search product and the logout. See, the end-to-end test case was captured by the JMeter. So after that, we'll stop the recording. So whatever the requests were captured by JMeter is nothing but it's a script. In performance testing terminology, we'll call it as an automated script, and in JMeter terminology, we'll call it as a thread group. So thread group looks like this. If you see, this is nothing but a thread group for launch application, login, search product, login. So all the web requests were captured by the JMeter in this format. Okay. So the script was recorded, and we need to do little bit enhancements for these scripts, like parameterization, correlation, assertions, all these things. We'll see in detail in the upcoming sessions. Okay. So the script is ready. Let's see how JMeter works for test execution part. So as we discussed in the previous slide, our script was ready. Okay. When we want to do testing, the application under test, it should be up and running. Okay. So now JMeter, see guys, other tools which is having different components for scripting part, we have some separate different component, and for execution part there is other different component. For test analysis part there is another different component. For load generation there is another component. When it comes to JMeter, JMeter is a very beautiful tool. JMeter itself support. JMeter is the only one component which can do the scripting. It can record the script. It can able to do the execution. It can able to generate the reports. JMeter itself is a component which is responsible for scripting, execution, and reporting. Okay, JMeter simulates virtual users. So JMeter is capable to simulate the virtual users. So all these virtual users is trying to test this same application launch, login, product, and logout this feature concurrently at the same time. Okay, all the users trying to access this functionality. When all the users are accessing this script, multiple requests concurrently, it will send to the server. Server process each and every request, and it will send back the response. Okay, from starting of the test to ending of the test, this process will continue. Okay, the thread group, these multiple requests sent to server, again server will respond back. Uh, this is a continuous process from starting of the test to end of the test. Okay, so parallelly, from the starting of the test to end of the test, based on the response received from the server, JMeter capture all the responses and saves. JMeter capture and save the all responses. Okay, at the same time, JMeter calculate the statistical information. Whatever the response captured by the JMeter, it will capture the each and every sample response time, error rate, all this statistical information was calculated by JMeter. Okay, after end of the test execution, again JMeter is the one component which is responsible for generating the HTML reports, the results reports, you can say. Okay, this is all about the JMeter workflow for test executions and reporting. Let's move to the live recording with a simple JMeter script. Okay, this is the JMeter tool, and I want to try. I want to record a simple script for flight booking. Okay. uh, this is HTTP script recorder, which is responsible for script recording. So here we need to give the port number. The same port number is to be set in this JMeter browser. See, the same port number we need to give here. Okay, so that it will have the communication between JMeter and browser. So when I click on this start button, the script recording will start. This is a recorder like a transaction control, where we can give the transaction names. First I'm giving the T01 launch. Okay, so I'm accessing this place demo. Okay, that is the launch transaction got completed. Then T02 underscore find find flights. Okay, this is the second transaction where I will choose the departure city Boston and destination as London, and I clicked on find flights. It will go to next page. Okay, this is the second transaction got completed, and the next transaction T03 underscore choose flight. I'm clicking on any one of the flight. Okay, after that I need to purchase the flight. The transaction name will be, for every click we need to give a transaction name, T04 underscore purchase flight. Okay, so here it is asking me to give some names, right? John. City, New York. Some state name. As it is a demo application, it will take any type of inputs. That I'm clicking on purchase flights. That's it. Ticket was booked, and now we can stop the recording. If you see, guys, for each and every transaction, launch, flight, find flights, choose flights, purchase flights, for each and every action, the requests were captured by JMeter. Okay. Now script recording is done. Let me try to replay the script. So this is the thread group, which is nothing but a script. Let me run the script first. Before running the script, I will add a listener called aggregate report, where it will display the response times. Let me quickly run the script. Give me a second, guys. Before running, I will check one option here. Now I will run the script. If you see, when I replay the script, you can see the so this is the application launch page. This is the find flights page. This is the choose flight page. And this is the purchase flight. After purchasing, you're getting the thanks, the ticket booking confirmation page, right? So whatever the flow we access manually, all that requests were captured by JMeter tool, and we are able to replay. We no need to open the browser and do the steps each and every time. Once all the requests are captured by JMeter, simply we can replay. Okay. If you see this aggregate report, to launch the application, it is taking 601.17 milliseconds. Okay. For find flights page, it is taking 478 milliseconds. So all the requests are taking below 1 second. Okay. So let me show you. I will run this same script with 5 users. and each user need to do 3 iterations. Let me clear this. I will run this one. Okay, test got started. See, this is how the response times when multiple users are accessing the application. Okay, this is all about JMeter simple script recording, and I showed you a replay of the script as well. Okay, let's move to our actual topic. So script recording was done. Let's move to the course content. In first module, we look into performance testing overview, where we will discuss about what is performance testing importance, performance testing life cycle stages, types of performance test, NFR gathering, workload modeling, why we need performance tool to why we need tool for performance testing, and what all performance tools available in market. And in second module, we are going to cover the basics of JMeter, Apache JMeter introduction, how it works, what are the features, what are the prerequisites to use Apache JMeter, and what are the steps we need to follow for setting the JMeter, and the direct structure of JMeter, and how to launch JMeter, Apache JMeter UI, and basic elements overview. A thread group, HTTP script recorder, thread group. Sorry, I think thread groups were written twice. Sampler, logical controllers, pre-processors, post-processors, assertions, timers, config elements. There are a lot of other elements as well. Just plan like this. So coming to the module number 3, we are concentrating on prerequisites for JMeter script recording. How to set up JMeter HTTP proxy configuration, browser proxy configuration in different browsers. Like we will see how we can do it in Chrome, Edge, and Mozilla, and JMeter certificate installation in browser for HTTPS recording, and JMeter terminology, and include, exclude filters, and script recording. Once script recording was done, then we will concentrate on the module 4, which is called JMeter scripting. In the entire course, the JMeter scripting is the very important module. All of you guys need to concentrate more on this JMeter scripting, because this is heart of this course. Okay, where we will discuss parameterization, correlations, error handling, debugging, script playback, how to implement think time, pacing, and how can we leverage the functional helper provided by JMeter, and what is the execution order and rules. Coming to module number 5, it's all about test execution part, how we can do it in UI mode and CLI mode. In UI mode, how we can design thread group, test plan with multiple thread groups, adding listeners to monitor load test results. When it comes to CLI mode, usually we'll call it as non-GUI mode or CLI mode. What is the advantage, and why it is recommended to run in CLI mode? What all are options available in CLI mode? How to run the test in CLI mode? We'll see in the test execution module. Next module is JMeter test reporting and analysis. Here we see configuring results in test plan, both in UI mode and CLI mode. How to generate HTML report using JMeter, and report analysis and monitoring. After that, we'll see few JMeter advanced topics, leveraging JMeter plugins, bean shell scripting, web services testing with JMeter, distributed load testing, um, on need basis, like as per the uh, request coming from the students who enrolled in the course, we may add some advanced topics and additional topics here. There is another additional topics like JMeter best practices, how to reset JMeter certificate expiry date, how to install BlazeMeter extension, how to record the script with BlazeMeter Chrome extension, test executions in BlazeMeter, how to do test executions in BlazeMeter, and also I will help you to complete the JMeter intro and JMeter Pro certification by BlazeMeter, sorry. So this is all about the course content. Now time for Q&A.